Clad in armor, forged by fire and skill, knights weren't just fighters, they were symbols of honor, duty, and a brutal, beautiful time in history. In today's video, I'm drawing one of these armored warriors, exploring the form, the weight, and the presence of a king ready for battle. So grab your sketchbook and let's bring a little bit of the Middle Ages to life, one line at a time. Start by constructing lines for the helmet and torso. Draw a shield. This knight is ready for battle. He needs to defend himself. It's important to get good proportions in the beginning. You can't polish a turd. And don't be afraid to use a ruler when drawing the sword. It will look much better when it's straight. Drawing knights in armor is a really fun challenge. There's many details in the armor, and when you combine it with a sword and shield, it looks intimidating. It looks badass, and just overall cool. Since I don't have strong outlines in this drawing, I will start with shading the shadows and darkest areas first. But let's draw the rest of the shield. I will use these pencils for this drawing. Each pencil has its own purpose. And when you learn to use them in the right places, your drawings will look better. I will start with 8B, but we need an extender since the pencil is so short. Simply put it in and twist to tighten. Now you have a long pencil again. 8B pencil is the darkest and softest of these pencils. It's the one you use for the darkest shadows. I will use it on the eyes, arms, and different places on the torso. This tutorial is not only about drawing a knight in armor, it's about making it realistic too. When I was planning this video, I was struggling to find a reference. It was so many good ones, it was hard to choose. Let's draw the helmet. I'm gonna use HB. I'm gonna shade the whole thing, and then I'm gonna add texture after. On this side of the helmet, I will use B. By drawing in a circular motion, I will achieve this effect. Watch what happens. I use this technique a lot. It adds realism to the drawing, and it looks interesting. Maybe you can see all the white spots. We can either blend with a blending stump, or we can draw with heavy pressure. Let's do both. I'm gonna use a B pencil for the pauldron. It's important to get a shiny effect on the shoulders. The pauldrons is one of the first things on the armor that catches your eye. What's your favorite knight in armor? Is it from a movie, TV show, game? The gauntlet can be a bit tricky to draw. There is many values, shadows, and highlights. You can see that I'm trying to make it dark, but I don't want it to be dark everywhere. I want the highlights to show. So I'm trying to get a gradient effect. For the blade on the sword, I will use a B pencil. I like to use either HB or B as a base layer, but we need to be gentle with the pressure. Even though the pencil grade is light in tone, you can still get dark values if you press too hard, so try to keep it smooth. Lay your pencil on the side, so that it's barely touching the paper. Smooth, even pressure. By looking at the reference, I can see that the highlights are on the top of the blade, so I will shade in a gradient scale, using really light pressure on top. I forgot to press record when drawing this section, my apologies. But I used a B pencil, and now I'm adding darker tones and blending with a soft makeup brush. I will shade the curves with a base layer of HB. Then I will shade with 2B, 4B, and 6B. Notice the edge between the curves and the shield. We need to separate that edge by shading different values. One edge has to be darker than the other. Try to use a 6B pencil for this and draw where the shadows are. For the shield, I will need to use different pencils and values, and the circular motion for texture that I demonstrated for you. Use a 6B pencil on the shield and draw circular. This is a close-up shot so you can see better. Look at how the graphite is leaving white little spots in between. That's exactly the effect we need for this rusty old shield. This shield has been used for a long time in many battles. You know how paint looks when it gets old? When it starts to crumble and fall down from the walls? That's the effect we're going for. We're using a 4B pencil now, and I'm gonna tell you why. There are highlights on the shield, and they are at the right corner. So I'm using a 4B, which is lighter than 6B, and I'm using lighter pressure. Slow and steady, nice and smooth. When everything has been shaded, I like to go over with more layers to add more texture. I recommend taking short breaks, have a coffee, call a friend. When you get back to drawing, you will see where it lacks shading. I want the shield to be darker. Now I'm using a 9B pencil from a different pencil set. If you are drawing right now and you think that your drawing needs to be darker, you may be right. Tiny strokes can make a big difference. Don't be afraid to add more. Don't be afraid to erase. It's important to make mistakes. It will train your eye. Never draw what you think you see, draw what you see. I feel that the curves is too light in values. It needs to be separated more from the shield, so I'm adding more shading. The final chapter of drawing a knight in armor is to add icing on the cake. It can be reinforcing edges or outlines. For example, the sword needs an outline, so I will use the ruler once again, because I made a mistake by not drawing a clear outline. And voila! Next time I will draw the rest of these pages. Hope you look forward to the next lesson on how to draw knights in armor. And subscribe if you like this content. Goodbye my friends. Hope you learned something from this video. See you next time.